Rings of Power Season 2 Morbin time.
It's been a long way. Some bad things might have happened.
Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
There's a tempest in me.
Oh, same! I'm literally her for real, for real.
You have not seen what
I have seen. That never gets old.
Twist, gut, come at me.
Her facial expressions know are something special. You really have to give it that.
Easy to... no, 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 no.
Burgerotic.com.
Is this gonna be great? Obviously.
Greetings, you over 1 million practitioners of common sense and the 40% who haven't subscribed yet. Yes, it's time to talk about the Rings of Power again, because out of nowhere, on May 13th of current year, Amazon announced they were going to release a teaser for Season 2, which I'm sure had nothing to do with the May 9th announcement from Warner Brothers that Peter Jackson was returning to Lord of the Rings to produce 2 Gollum films directed by, and I'm assuming starring, Andy Serkis. Not to be outdone, on the very same day Amazon announced the teaser trailer, Warner Brothers followed up with an announcement that they were going to release footage from War of the Rohirrim at a film festival in France. This brings us to May 14th of current year, where...
By the way, the trailer is just epic. At no point do you understand what the hell is going on, why am I supposed to care, and what the hell is this? It's really hard to fail a trailer on this level when all you're trying to do is make it look effectively epic. It's really hard, but they nailed that sucker. They made it look so unepic, questionable, and bad it's insane.
Yes, Amazon did indeed release a teaser for The Rings of Power Season 2, which we will get to, but 1 hour later, because David Zaslav had his hand over the send button, Warner Brothers decided to respond with a brand new House of the Dragon trailer. The best
Hell yeah. Did you see the House of the Dragon trailer? That is exciting. That is how you make a trailer. That is what you wanna watch. Oh my god, House of the Dragon looks so good.
Dragon trailer. The best description of this is...
Season 1 was so good, Season 2 is hopefully gonna be better. I mean, it's gonna be good no matter what, but hopefully better than Season 1 even. Oh boy.
From Lily on Twitter, this is the Kendrick and Drake beef for nerds, except with giant IP mining corporations. And it's glorious. But before we get into breaking down the new teasers, because it's been 2 years, let's briefly recap the Rings of Power Season 1.
Salted pork.
It is the second age of Arda, and after Celeborn went out for pipeweed and never came home, his wife, the warrior Galadriel, wandered Middle-earth for 1,000 years looking for Sauron without a map, after easily killing an ice troll in under 10 seconds, but...
That was my favorite part. How she single-handedly defeated an ice troll. Oh, it was beautiful. It was magnificent. I have never seen such a great spectacle in my life. I literally came.
Inevitably failing her mission, Galadriel is sent to Valinor by High King Gil-galad for being annoying. But girl boss warrior Galadriel's not gonna let no man tell her what to do, so she jumps out of the ship, swims across an ocean, and runs into a guy named Halbrand who's totally not...
I mean, it's just all in a day's work for an epic warrior woman.
Not Sauron. Then they go to Numenor and find out that all the Numenorians are racist.
As they should be. But anyway, you know what's my favorite part about the Rings of Power? The thing, the temptation and whatnot? It's the fact that the greatest fan theory has emerged from watching this show. It's the fact that Sauron was actually a good guy, and Galadriel's actions turned him to evil. which actually seems so true, considering how the show does everything. Sauron's like not a normal chill dude, and then Galadriel just completely bullies him into being evil effectively. It's so hilarious.
Because they think the elves are gonna take their jobs. Elsewhere, Doogie Elrond is in a homoerotic relationship with Durin IV.
Give me the meat.
Nice.
Behind the back of his wife, Dwarf of Color, Disa.
I mean, can you blame him? I would also choose to be gay. I mean, ouch.
Of his wife, Dwarf of Color, Disa. Meanwhile, in the South, we have two brand new made-up characters by Amazon, Dawn Lemonless, who falls in love with the Middle-earth dispensary owner and single mother, Bronwyn. And even
Hell yeah, she needed a man that can take responsibility. She was not gonna settle for less boys.
though there's no mention of him in the second age,
And he needs to have a house and car and make 100K a year. But she's living in a pig stain.
the Harfoots with female Frodo and female Sam, who run into totally not Gandalf, and then are pursued by the Nazgûls. In the Rings of Power Season 1, we learn the origins of metals like mithril, and geographic locations when a southern tweaker named Waldrig grabs a sword and starts a contraption that was co-engineered by the designers of Milton Bradley's Mousetrap to create Mordor, which was revealed in possibly the most exciting way, a change of font. And the series ends with Galadriel figuring out
You can't make this up.
what the audience knew since the first episode. Halbrand was Sauron, and Galadriel, one of the wisest beings in the history of Middle-earth, lets Sauron go and doesn't tell anybody. And along with Celebrimbor, the master smith of Middle-earth, who had no idea what an alloy was until he met Halbrand, who was totally not Sauron, they forged the 3 elven rings of power at the end. And it should be no surprise Amazon has been radio silent since the end of season 1, considering every trailer and clip they put on YouTube was ratioed into oblivion.
I mean, it makes sense. Again, this is just the highest caliber of slop that we have ever seen, honestly. Tolkien is not spinning in his grave. He's trying to haunt people currently, okay? He's out of there, okay? This is going to be our first time in the history of the world where we can confirm an existence of a vengeful spirit.
Clip they put on YouTube was ratioed into oblivion. The comment sections were glorious and the reviews were horrendous.
Dude, I love the part where Frodo came in from the starship and Tenno snapped away Voldemort. It was amazing. It saved lives.
And there's that little issue of losing 63% of their audience as the series progressed. And after watching the season 2 teaser trailer, it's clear absolutely nothing has changed.
Arguably, it has gotten worse. That's my favorite part, personally. Dude, that was a good movie. That was a good movie. What I forgot what it was. Dr. Doolittle was the animal guy. Well, it's played by the same dude. Eddie Mercury? What was his name? I forgot. But man, it was a pretty good movie. It wasn't the greatest, but hey, it kind of magically was a good movie.
There's nothing like setting the tone with your teaser trailer by putting it to music that sounds like a troll taking a dump. Now in the next clip, I don't believe in the history of teasers or trailers there has been a better description of what this show really is.
Go for it.
Evil.
Has returned.
Amazon's The Rings of Power. Accurate right down to that big black sploogey mess that looks like the Venom symbiote crawling from the depths that in the show is sucking the life out of Middle-earth, just as Amazon is sucking the life out of the professor's work. And looky here, Warrior Galadriel is back with her little pal Doogie Elrond and my producer X-Ray Girl. Now if you look closely, because
Wait a minute. Does it actually look like her?
producer X
Holy shit, she should take royalties. Wow. She better start suing Amazon. She wouldn't have to work for Gary anymore. This is her ticket out. Holy.
X-Ray Girl. Now, if you look closely, because I completely missed it the first couple of times, it looks like Galadriel and her company are up against the Barrow-wights.
Oh, I did not know
Now,
that
it can't
at
be the
all.
ones Frodo and company encountered in the Fellowship of the Rings book, but that's never stopped Amazon before. Maybe it's some earlier form that Just like with the Harfoots, through some contractual obligation, they're going to have to rename to the Barrow White Supremacists. Or it could be something Amazon completely made up. I have no idea. It looks like.
You know what's the best part about that? It doesn't matter. It's gonna be bad anyway. It's gonna be atrocious writing anyway. It's gonna be failed anyway. It's gonna be hilariously stupid no matter how you spin it. That's the best part. Amazon can make everything up as they go, or they can try to be as close to the source material as possible without naming Gandalf. It's still all gonna be just atrocious garbage at the end no matter what. Man, again, the biggest problem with modern day writing is someone makes something in a show and they never stop and ask the most simple question ever. Does this make even a single shred of goddamn sense? No one does that. No one does that. Why is there a gun under a prison inmate's bed? Well, it's just magically there. Don't ask questions. Consume product, essentially. It's just no one ever stops and bothers to ask the simplest question. Does this even make a single lick of sense? And it doesn't. It doesn't. This alone is the biggest problem that modern day television, modern day everything is actually facing. People just make stuff and no one even stops to think about it for a second. It's made, it's done. Let fucking send it, boys.
It's like the Naz girls are back. Guess who's back? And here is Master Smith of Middle Earth, who couldn't figure out what alloy was until he talked to Hellbrand. And who is he looking at? Sauron?
Oh, no.
I think he has been here. I think he's been here among us all along.
Wow.
Now, let's not get bogged down with the details that Amazon's Jennifer Salke, Lindsay Weber, J.D. Payne, and Patrick McKay, amongst others, essentially prison rape Tolkien's lore.
The hell is going on here? How is this woman in perpetual state of always being pissed about the patriarchy, I'm assuming? How is this a thing?
Essentially prison rape Tolkien's lore. And one of the many things they completely botched was the forging of the Rings of Power by the Elven Smiths of Eregion by doing it completely out of order. They didn't show any of the forging of the lesser rings, which were considered an essay in the craft. Oh, and there's that pesky detail of Sauron as Anatar not being there because they replaced him with Sauron as Halbrand. But don't worry. They've seen the error of their ways, and they're going to bring him back, but he's going to look totally different.
I love this. I already commented about this. What is he thinking about? Did he leave the stove on? Did he forget to lock the door? Did he give his dog food? What exactly is going on here? Is he happy? Is he not happy? I'm so confused. This is worse, honestly, almost than Galadriel, almost, in terms of facial expressions. I have a feeling they actually went out of their way to find people with the worst facial expressions for this series. You can't see me through.
He tried it.
Yes, this is the cunning shapeshifter Sauron the Great, who has the ability to change.
Oh, wait. He's supposed to be in the skies. It actually hit me while I was laughing about these things, but I missed that the first time. I completely missed that he's supposed to be in the skies the first time. Oh, wow, this just makes it so much more worse, honestly. I didn't know he's supposed to be in the skies.
Shapeshifter Sauron the Great, who has the ability to change into a serpent, a vampire, or a werewolf in his fairest form. Anatar, the Lord of Gifts, using his immense power to put on a wig. Oh, this clever disguise, how will you ever see through it? And I know what you're thinking, dear viewer. There's no way in hell they're going to bring back Halbrand with a wig and no one's going to recognize him, right?
I've had an unexpected...
Hey, it's the exact same thing when Master Chief needs to take off his helmet because Otherwise, you can't see the actor, and that's bad. That's bad. You know, of course they need to make him look exactly the same while saying it's a disguise, because how will you ever be able to tell the actor in that case?
Visitor.
What?
More on that later. Back to the trailer. There's a big rock falling in Khazad-dûm, leading to a lot of speculation that this may be the Balrog. Remember,
this is actually the only exciting part that I thought about with this part right here. This is the only thing that actually kind of piques my interest, and I'm interested to know what's going on here. The only unironic thing.
That this may be the Balrog. Remember the Balrog?
Remember.
Of course, that doesn't happen until almost 2,000 years into the Third Age, but would it surprise anybody at this point? Here's an orc licking a knife. Remember Lurtz from the Fellowship of the Ring? Here's Ar-Pharazôn with an eagle. Remember the eagles from Lord of the Rings?
Dude, you gotta love the fact that the member berries are such a real thing. They try it so much. They especially try it a lot in anything Star Wars. It is unironically a real thing. The member berries are real. They try it so much with all the small things.
Yeah, I remember that.
Never mind the fact that the Eagles had bailed on the Númenóreans by then. Isildur's back, and it looks like he's going up against a big spider. Remember Shelob? Remember the 3 elven rings that were supposed to be forged by Celebrimbor alone became Galadriel's idea?
We must make 3. One will always corrupt. 2 will divide.
But with 3, there is balance.
What?
Remember the ring?
Thank God he said that. Yeah, I mean, 1 is bad, 2 is bad, but 3, ho ho ho, big.
Verse. Remember when they repurposed dialogue in the Rings of Power Season 1?
You would make me a tyrant.
I would make you a queen.
Oh.
Fair as the sea and the sun.
What?
Stronger than the foundations of the earth.
How dare you? She's already the strongest that there ever was, you bigot.
We get to see the return of the Elf of Color, Don Lemonless.
Yeah!
The darkness did reach him.
I'm not touching that one.
Evil motherfucker, black magic, darkness.
And the Dwarf of Color, shill favorite Disa.
We kind of touched on
God, I love her so much.
it and teased on it in season 1. This time you will see us in all our glory.
No, thank you.
Then there's some quick cuts. We see Durin III getting his Ring of Power. They show a
Yay.
fortress that a lot of us thought was Barad-dûr, but actually it's the fortress from season 1, where Galadriel killed an ice troll in under 10 seconds with the greatest of ease. A scene best described by Joel Berry on
Is it? I was so confused what's happening here.
Twitter. My favorite part of the new Rings of Power trailer is when Sauron makes a face like, "It's Saruman time," and then freezes the kingdom like Elsa from Frozen. Here we have what looks like the sack of Region, which doesn't end well, and that reminds me, there's supposed to be a major character there. Galadriel's husband, Celeborn.
Does a true woman need a husband? I think it's obviously no. No.
Well, Galadriel better hope he doesn't come back, because she's going to have a lot of splaining to do. But as far as the sack of Region within the lore of the show, that all could have been avoided if Galadriel did one little thing. But first, let's hear from the warrior Galadriel herself. What
I mean, it's never her fault, obviously. Things happen, you know. If Galadriel can't do it, no one can. Duh.
she's going to be up to in season 2.
This season, Galadriel's being driven more by a bigger purpose.
Bigger than hunting for Sauron for 1,000 years without a map?
Yup!
Since Sauron is building his strength.
And whose fault is that?
Wait, so what's the purpose exactly? Isn't that your old purpose? Did we just take the old purpose that you had previously and just call it a greater purpose for no reason? I wouldn't be surprised.
That guy Galadriel, why, it's yours for letting him go once you figured out he was Halbrand and not telling Celebrimbor or Doogie Elrond. But it looks like that's another thing they're gonna fix for season 2.
He's Sauron.
Oh yeah, this part. I love it.
You sure about that?
I mean, he doesn't look like Sauron to me.
You sure about that?
But to be fair, it's obvious that Amazon has listened to the fans and they are going to course correct by retroactively screwing up more lore. The bad news is Amazon's behind.
Honestly, at this point, does it even matter? Does it even matter? I'm not feeling the matter.
Behind the times. A year and a half ago, they announced every episode of season 2 would be directed by a woman. Now we're in a time Hollywood believes.
Thank God. Thank God for their light. If it wasn't directed by a woman, I would be pissed.
Men can do a better job as women. But let's look on the bright side. At least we haven't heard from any super fans yet.
A lot of talking about my girl Galadriel.
Yeah.
Which is better, House of the Dragon or Rings of Power? Well, I haven't watched Rings of Power yet.
At least we haven't heard from any adult pretenders droning on about the show's lore-shattering diversity yet.
She is the first female dwarf that we will ever see on screen.
Yeah.
Disa, the first female dwarf that we have ever seen on any screen.
First female black dwarf, also.
It means absolutely everything. It is everything.
Hell yeah.
It is everything for
The expression of pure pain.
people of colour. It is everything to progress forward in the film.
Hello, darkness,
My old friend.
And at least there haven't
Oh, come on. A little bit more, Gary. Don't be a tease.
been any attacks on the fans yet. Now we have
Yet.
heard from the
True.
shills, but the Fellowship can handle them. And the comment section on YouTube has been glorious. Elrond, we have but only one choice. The wig must be destroyed. Galadriel, no man can fool me. Sauron puts on wig. I am no man. But they were all of them deceived, for another wig was made. Boromir, what is this devilry? Gandalf, a wig, a hairpiece of the ancient world. This foe is beyond any of you. Run! And my personal favorite, I don't wear half my wigs half as much as I would like to, and I wear less than half of my wigs half as much as they deserve. Speaking of YouTube, how about that House of the Dragon Season 2 trailer coming
Hell
out an
yeah.
hour after the Rings of Power Season 2 trailer and becoming the living embodiment of this meme. At time of recording,
I mean, beyond accurate. Again, House of the Dragon is going to be epic. I'm not going to even watch this garbage.
becoming the living embodiment of this meme. At time of recording, Hot D Season 2 is currently number 6 on trending and doing pretty damn well. It's a different story for the Rings of Power Season 2 trailer, which at time of recording is number 5 on trending. 1 ratio to rule them all. And it's not much better for
Good
the behind the scenes video, which is ratioed. Let's take a look around the world. Canada, ratioed. France, ratioed. Germany, ratioed. Japan,
You knew the Germans are gonna have a weak ratio. You knew the Germans are gonna have a weak ratio. They love this slop.
Japan, dislikes turned off. Australia and New Zealand, ratioed.
Damn right.
Ireland and Professor Tolkien's home country, the UK, ratioed. Nature is healing. And the best news of all in this tumultuous...
I mean, is nature healing when this is still constantly happening? Is it? Is it, Gary? Are we healing? Or are things kind of getting a little bit worse? How this all started, we had good movies. Then we had The Message, La Message. It was great. Loved it. Who doesn't love The Message, right? Then we had people turning on The Message. Who could actually ever foresee that? Well, strange. I personally don't know how that's possible. And now it's in the open that it's all diversity, equality, and all of that garbage nonsense that makes the world a worse place. And, well, they don't care. Disney literally lost $3 billion. They know why they lost it, and they lost it because of DUI shit. And they don't care. Do you think Rings of Power cares? Hell no. They know this is garbage, probably to a certain level. At least some people at the top know it's garbage. Do they care? No. No. It doesn't matter if you don't like the message. The message needs to be spread. So, is the world healing? I don't know. I don't think the pitchforks are out enough.
World, it's the Fellowship bringing people together. But if Amazon wants to start this all back up again, we'll be ready.
Oh, yeah!
Gun knuckles for it!
I mean, this was a moment. This was a moment.
And Rohan will answer.
Damn nice.
Master the row, hear him.
Okay, this is where we stop the video because it's getting a little bit emotional. Nerdrotic. Nerdrotic Daily. Arguably the better Nerdrotic. Who knows? Anyway, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Amazing. God, this is gonna be sad. Well, I guess at least it's gonna be sad and funny. Anyway, bye-bye.